very good day to you, and thank you so much for tuning in to DSTV channel 405. And I'm Kiora Betse Mahlobo. Today we're coming to you from Vilakazi Street, south of Johannesburg, and we're opposite Sakumzi, one of the biggest tourist attractions in the country. Yes, we're talking today about crime and its effect on the tourism industry. I have a panel with me today. On my panel is Baba Diwi, who is from the Gauteng Tourism Department. Next to him is Archie Tsoko, who is the Sakumzi Marketing Manager. We also have Thabo Modise from Shover Lifestyle Origin. We have Captain K. Makubela from the Gauteng Police Spokesperson. And we have Opa Tulu, the ANC PR Councillor for Public Safety. A very good day to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll just start with you, Captain Makubela. If you can just let us know, give us an indication of the crime stats in this area, in this part of Johannesburg.
Well, what I can say is that crime is everywhere, and we are trying our best from the police side to make sure that the crime is being reduced, as we have deployed our sector vehicles in all the sectors of Orlando, and including this street. Every time the police, the Metro Police, and also our patrollers, they interact with the tourists and making sure that they are safe. So sometimes, yes, it happened where the police are not there and there will be such crimes. We do have people who sometimes get robbed, but it's not much because the police visibility is everywhere. And as the provincial commissioner have indicated in the festive season launch, that all the business areas, the malls, where we will have to make sure that people who are going there, they are safe, including the Vilakazi Street. That's where we are always visible.
Now I'll come to you, Archie. How does crime affect business?
No, I'm smiling because we're learning a new language here to talk about crime. It's something we haven't, it's not part of our vocabulary yet. So in a sense, we're waking up to a different reality. So we come from a honeymoon of 15 years being in business and no crime. So this is new. So it's a new spate of crime that started October last year. And I think the police, to be honest, are caught off guard, just like all of us. They have been policing in a different way. So there needs to be new strategies of how we're policing. So yes, from October, we've had at least 5 robberies. So the crime does not affect the patrons and the tourists directly. They come at the time when the businesses are closing, I guess hoping that there's enough loot, and they rob the stores. So that's where the crime is targeted to the storekeepers, and at a time when there are no patrons. So we need to change our strategy. We need to wake up to a reality. The street has grown. You started with 1 or 2 restaurants 15 years ago. Today you've got 8. They are serving more than 2,000 people at a time. So, and I think there's a consciousness. We need to catch up with global standards. That's also an important part. Globally, streets like this or all kinds of tourist centers are a priority with government, and the Ministry of Tourism takes the lead in guiding that. So because we don't want the kind of security that's police-led. We want a security that's not intrusive, that is suitable for our market. So it's a specialized type of security. It's not your normal security. So we need, as South Africa, to catch up with the world as it is. Globally, what are the standards they use in Rome, in Austria, everywhere else, in protecting sites like these?
Without too much police visibility. Now, but let me come to you, perhaps bringing in the community safety aspect or the public safety aspect. How does crime affect the community, and how is the public involved in trying to reduce crime? Like Archie said, having a non-intrusive way of protecting clients and tourists in the area.
Look, I think I must start by passing our condolences to the family of the deceased manager. I'm also a frequent visitor to the place, and it really shook us as a party. But just to say that our biggest strength in our belief is communities that we live in. So we must at all times involve our communities. Earlier the captain spoke about community patrollers. I think we must revive and strengthen the community patrollers in the area. And very true what Archie says, areas like this you need a special type of patrollers that are friendly to the tourists and would warm up to welcoming visitors coming to Joburg. This is the areas that create employment where we live in, and these are areas where we need to support in the safety and security sector. So our emphasis is going to be mobilizing communities into policing forums. There were forums before, somewhat collapsed. Perhaps this incident has really pointed us to the direction of reviving and strengthening the sector. It should not only be Vilakazi Street, all business precincts of Joburg will be revitalized, and ultimately Gauteng and the country at large are spoken to Baba that we need to have a meeting. So our conversation will be centered around community patrollers, because the biggest strength is communities. The police, in our view, don't have the necessary numbers to police everywhere at any given point. So communities live in this space. They must be empowered to patrol their own space and their own communities.
Well, let me actually come to Baba. The effects of crime, the recent sort of increase in crime on the tourism industry at large.
No, it's a problem. And whether it's perceived incidents of crime or it's real incidents of crime, it's a problem that we need to tackle head on. The white paper on tourism points out that tourism is private sector led, government driven and community based. That emphasizes the need for all the role players that I have mentioned to work together. It might have been an incident here that has affected one establishment, but its effect has moved beyond just Sakumzi restaurant. Remember, Sakumzi restaurant and this street, it's a pride of the world. Everybody moves from wherever they are in the world to come and witness and be part of this experience that houses the only street in the world that has housed not two Nobel laureates winners. So it's a national and a global monument. So one or two or three incidents of crime that happens here have a devastating effect, not only for Johannesburg, Gauteng or South Africa, but for the world treasures that adores places like this. So what we need to do is to firstly ensure that initiatives that are aimed at combating crime are not necessarily firstly targeted at tourists, because we need to move away from this thing that tourists are the people with the binoculars, white people with short pants, khaki clad, and adopt the new approaches like our chief indicated, that we have our own people that are tourists. Firstly, you must be a tourist in your own backyard. Whether you stay here, you must be able to understand what is on the other side. So initiatives aim at policing and reducing incidences of crime and creating sustainable and livable and safe communities must be directed at our communities first. And if you have our communities and our streets being safe, that will translate into our tourists, our visitors, equally being safe. Because you will not want to have programs that are specialized to tourists. You don't want to have programs where police are policing tourist buses, are policing all of those things.
Because that actually could even attract more attention to them from the criminals.
Because that's not what you want.
Let me just give Thabo a chance to just come into this conversation here. Thabo, you actually own a business right across the road from Sakumzi. How has what's happened recently in the past few months actually impacted your business and perhaps even your customers?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for allowing us to host you, Shova Lifestyle Origin. So actually, this crime and this killing thing, it's actually denting our businesses from a tourist side because of we will hear a lot of people now asking or doubting the Vilakazi Street. And Vilakazi Street, like one of our panels said, that this crime thing was not our language. So now we're reaching a new level. So, but I believe that we need a strong forum within the Vilakazi vicinity, more especially from relevant stakeholders, you know. So, and obviously from stakeholders, we can be able to also engage the community to work with us, so we can make sure that we protect our businesses, you know. So today with the Vilakazi Street Night Market, we're gonna be also running a campaign that says, my business is your business is our business. So let's make sure that we protect our business, stop with this killing and violating
And
our
by
businesses.
night market, you mean that you've got your shop opened actually after sunset, right?
Yes, we actually go down till late. So, and we also give other entrepreneurs a platform to step into the Vilakazi Street Market. So you can understand now that it's going to now raise eyebrows from those business or young entrepreneurs that say, am I going to be safe when I'm at the Vilakazi Street Night Market? Because of they've been doing well, and now we're looking forward to continue empowering young businesses. And Vilakazi Street is supposed to be known as the business trendsetter for other townships around South Africa. So it's we need to actually try and make sure that we come together and make sure that we transform the township.
Well, fortunately, Thabo, you have some stakeholders on the panel, so you can actually let them know how you want them to actually help out the businesses on Vilakazi Street and even in other townships in South Africa, so that they can actually go back to their different departments and be able to apply some of those suggestions as well. I just want to come back to you, Captain Makubela. Some of the people that we spoke to earlier on today mentioned that you know, they would feel more comfortable if perhaps there was one of those police, those mobile offices, a mobile station set up every few hundred meters or so, instead of having to go as far as the police station or perhaps to call to report certain crimes. What can be done with regards to that? Even also helping out or engaging with the community patrolling system?
Well, I think it's a good suggestion when people feel that they need service near them. But as much as we know that Orlando Police Station is just 1 kilometer to report, but also what we have said is that we have got sector vehicles which are driving around the community. And what's very important for the community is to have the sector vehicle number. When there is anything which is suspicious, to call that vehicle, it will be there within 5 minutes at any time. And that's what is going to help. Also to have the number of the police station so that if they don't get hold of the sector vehicle, they can sensitize the police station, and the police station will contact that particular vehicle because through the other radio, which is it's a radio which is in the car and also in the police station. And by doing that, it will help for that vehicle to come straight to that particular address as soon as possible. So people must learn to understand that police is not only for the uniform. Police is for everyone who's walking around. To police is to see what is done wrong. So if you see something which is done wrong and you report it immediately, that thing can be attended to. And also people must understand that we, in our constitution, we have what we call a citizen arrest. If somebody, you see him committing crime, if you see that your life is not in danger and get someone around you, just arrest that particular person for that time and immediately phone the police, and the police will come and make sure that that particular person is arrested. But for these days in our policing areas, particularly around Soweto, we have got these patrollers. Our patrollers in Soweto are very much effective. It's just that when crimes happen, sometimes people are not there. It's not to say we are not doing anything in terms of fighting crimes. If you can look at what the minister have indicated, the national commissioner, towards this festive season, the stats showing that the crime went down.
It's actually reducing.
Yes, it was because of the commitment of the community. It's because of the commitment of the the people who don't want crime, those citizens who are a good citizen for the country. I think if all of us as a country, as a community, we can have that attitude, assisting the police, contacting the police as soon as you see something.
So
the
being,
reaction will
being,
be
being your
more.
brother's keeper, as a shop owner, as a pedestrian, as a customer, no matter who you are, you don't have to be in a police uniform to be actually able to protect the citizens of the country. That's basically what you're emphasizing there. I just want to come to Opa. You mentioned that with the Department of Tourism, you were speaking off air about some joint ventures or things you want to do together. Can you share some of those things with us? What's the plan? How can we move forward?
Well, our view is that Joburg, Gauteng have business districts like this one. And our view is that with smart technology to start with, which is your CCTV, which is already there, it's a matter of connecting to the fiber that is already invested in. We have business nodes around Joburg, your Busy Corner, Alexander, all regions of Joburg have business nodes. But if you then bring that to the fore, you will then over and above that complement that with human security that will be customized to securing tourist areas, because your normal security person would not have the understanding of how to handle and be able to be user friendly to people that are not of South African origin. Those that come and bring and invest money so that people can generate jobs, like the businesses that are here. Tabo was a small business operating from a tent, and including Sakumzi was a small business. But today, through the help of Gauteng Tourism and other structures of government, they are able to grow. But their growth would be even bigger if the communities that are, they do business in are safer. Now, the view is that there must be investment in patrollers over and above what we currently have that the Kema Kubela spoke about. Patrollers that will be trained to deal specifically with the tourist areas like this one. And that will be replicated, of course, to other areas outside Joburg through the engagement. We've already engaged quite a few structures, business against crime. We've engaged community safety at the level of the office of the MMC. This morning we had a meeting with economic development so that they then are able to see how they give stipend, because majority of the people that are involved in the patrolling that was happening here were voluntary. And it must be difficult to come here every day. You must be clean, presentable. Where do you get the soap? Where do you get the food to keep you going throughout the day?
So funding is clearly needed in that regard.
Resourcing those people. So those are the things that we're looking at. So if those things are made available, the home bodies are available as we speak right now.
So Baba, is there you want to actually comment, feedback on that?
There's very much appetite and interest. I'm actually excited that we actually had a common mind on this matter.
But is there budget available?
We will find budget. For me, we believe in developing programs, and when programs are there, there will definitely be budgets. What a colleague is saying here is that how do we find a niche inside the expanded public works program where communities are always going out cleaning, and they're like, how do we find a tourism angle inside an existing program? We already started working on a similar project which we call the Tourism Youth Brigades, primarily to focus on young people that are trained as information officers, as patrollers, as security officers combined. But not only that, another segment of these young people will focus on maintenance, on key work that needs to be done on these hubs. Issues like lighting, issues like cleanliness. You can have consortiums that are organized where government is able to buy them machinery, is able to buy them a lawnmower to cut the grass. And we are not necessarily replacing the role of the municipality, but it's part of our work to create jobs for our young people. If part of those consortium are given a lawnmower, they're able to cut the grass, because criminals hide in those
tall grasses.
Those tall grasses.
Or certain
but
dump sites.
Exactly, but they will take care of this equipment. You don't have to wait for a council sitting to discuss the installation of a globe when lights have been off for so many time. It becomes those sector hubs, clusters that go out and do that. So definitely there's so much appetite. We'll engage with the colleagues on these projects. Definitely this will assist us also in dealing with bringing youth into the main, because like we said, crime doesn't just only affect the business, it affects you as a community member. And here in Vilakazi Street in particular, and Soweto in general, like colleagues have said, this is one township where I'm definitely sure that when they see somebody pickpocketing a tourist here, they will be the first people to apprehend that criminal, because they have seen the real benefits of tourism in their life. These streets have created so much opportunities for them. So they understand, they know the value of tourism. It's not just white people coming in and then businesses benefiting. They have seen the benefit out of washing cars, out of directing people, job creations and the like. So this is the spirit that we want to see transcending to all the other hubs. So this definitely project will expand it. Imagine in other sites, ma'am, our infrastructure is so dilapidated. So these youngsters will be able to dig out the weed in there, cut the trees, and adopt these sites as their own sites. And these will come from those communities themselves. So they don't have to travel a long distance where you have to budget for transport and the like.
And definitely, have a greater sense of responsibility.
This is a project where we'll definitely put resources, not only just financial resources, but intellect and guidance on how it must roll. I'm definitely sure that it's going to transform our township into safe havens, into more visitable experiences that tourists come and enjoy.
And Archie, what do you have to say about some of these initiatives that you've heard from our panel? Is something that excites you, something that you know you agree with? Do you want to add more to that?
Yeah, you could say music to my ears. So, having worked on the street for the past 7 years and watched how business people invest a lot of money in capital investment and people investment of their own staff training, but having watched that the industry in totality is sort of weak in supporting the businesses. So I mean, we did very well at the beginning towards 2010, the public-private partnership between government and private sector. The businesses were investing, government was creating the corridor for safe movement, attractive movement, but we kind of like stopped halfway. When 2010 left us, we relaxed a little bit. So I think we can be opportunistic now. We can use this as a chance and a unique opportunity to get us going as an impetus and go back to a two-pronged strategy of the public and state coming together. So if you look at, for instance, anywhere else in the world, why do you go to London or Rome and you find it's not us who come outside of London who are more than them in numbers. When you are queuing up to get into a museum in London, it's the Londoners who are more than you, who are 90%.
So as South Africans, we actually have to, patronize the different tourist attractions that we have in the country.
The challenge that tourism is facing is similar to what the artists have been facing in theater, in the fields of art, as in how do we domesticate this? How do we make it our thing? How do we look inward? And so how do we go to schools and start small, even at primary level, and talk about tourism? And if you go to Mexico...
So from the grassroots level,
if you go
we
to
can
Mexico,
begin to teach them about tourism.
In a town called Oaxaca, you find people alongside houses with businesses, they coexist symbiotically. So the other one is a supplier to the one across the road and vice versa. So that the time has come for that. I think it's a maturity issue. We've reached a point where we can't take baby steps anymore. Now we have to kind of like be coordinated and be structured and be decisive about it.
And act fast.
So I think it's the maturing of an industry that's been coming slowly since around 2010, so to speak. it's a baby of the 2010 World
Yes,
Cup.
yes.
Now it must be our baby and stop being a baby of another tender,
must actually grow up into an adult now.
tender or our own tender
Actually, I
in-house.
just want to get closing comments from the different panelists. Just from you, as a department of tourism, when can we expect to see some of these beautiful things you've spoken about today? How soon? Is it a matter of a few years? Can some of these things happen in this year, 2017?
No, definitely. During the forthcoming State of the Province address, the Premier of the province will also touch on these initiatives, including the budget speech for the MEC. So this is definitely starting with the financial year now in April. We can't wait anymore. These are opportunities. Tourism is one of the only few sectors which gives us an opportunity to put impetus into the demands of the National Development Plan, where we are able to create decent and sustainable jobs, but using very little investment. Tourism, the entries to tourism are very low. So we are underplaying the value of tourism generally in the country because it provides us with an opportunity to create these jobs, but train and more importantly, bring the youth entrance into play. So all these other people here, part of these people that washes cars and everything else, it should become our program to every day brief them. Like the security guards and the police and the army will always do. They go on a parade in the morning, they have been briefed. This should be happening. As they wash the cars, these are the people that have the eyes and the ears to check what is happening. That they are not just washing the cars, they are part of the experience and a plethora of people that are here that are providing information.
I'm going to give each of you about a minute just to give us your closing comments. As somebody young, Thabo specifically, what can you say to upcoming business people? Is it still safe to come to Sakumzi? Is it still safe to come to Vilakazi Street? Can we still go shopping at night in Soweto?
No, Vilakazi is still your tourist destination. It's a place to be. And visit Vilakazi anytime. We'll make sure that we work together to make sure that we stop this crime. Like the panelists have said, that I'm also excited from the program that I've had today. So yeah, we're looking forward to work together with all stakeholders and the government and the policing department to make sure that we do it. And yeah, let's continue supporting small businesses. And your business is my business. My business is your business, so let's support each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Captain, please can you also give the viewers the telephone number to call if they see something happening that's just untoward?
Okay, yes. If somebody is suspecting something, you can use the 10111 or use 10111 or 8600. And also, you can use our SMS number, 32211. And more importantly, get the sector vehicles number, which is within the police station. So go to the police station, get the police station's telephone number of Orlando, and also get the sector vehicle, because the sectors, each and every sector have got its own numbers. And those numbers are very important for the community to utilize them when there is anything they suspect, when there is a crime committed, so that police can react so quickly.
Thank you, Opa.
Okay.
Your closing comments, sir, in 30 seconds.
Look, we really want to revive the structures that were in the precinct but extended to other areas in Johannesburg. But just on a parting shot to say, we will work with all businesses, including Gauteng tourism especially, in ensuring that this gets implemented. Earlier on, I said to Ntate Kubela, we must revive what is called community safety forums, because that's where everybody sits. Police, GMPD, community patrollers, and then the community representatives as large, because you can't leave out everyone. So revival of those structures would help us, everyone, converge ideas and implement action to curb such incidents.
Thank you. And Mr. Archie, just in closing.
Okay. If we lose this opportunity, we lose 20 years of traction. If we use it, we gain another 20 years. So it's up to us.
Thank you so much. Well, you've heard it from the panel yourself. Your voice counts, so make sure you make it heard. This conversation does continue on social media. Our Twitter handle is @ANN7TV. Thank you so much for having tuned in and for staying with us. God bless you.